Share it off the four bros.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am your moderator, Ace, and tonight we are joined by none other than, that's right, the man, the myth. We call him Chris P. And of course, his last name is Bacon. So, if Mr. Chris P. Bacon was a wrestler, we always said that, his finisher would probably be the Bacon Bomb. Because
there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be the Bacon Bomb. So, all right, and then of course, welcome in Mr. Dragon Viper. Dragon Viper, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Just having a good night.
Well, I'm glad that you are having a good night. It's great to hear. We're going to be joined by, of course, Mr. Brandon Herrera here, pretty soon. We're going to wait for him to hop on, the Mr. Big B. So with that, anyways, Dragon Viper, you know how we do. You know what we do. You know how we start this thing out. So, of course, with you go ahead and get us started on that little bit of Monday Night Raw.
All right, Monday Night Raw. The first match was Riddle and the Viking Raiders versus Morrison, Styles, and Omos, with the winners being Riddle and the Viking Raiders.
All right, you go ahead and kick us off there, Dragon.
I thought it was an okay match. I enjoy, the Viking Raiders, Morrison, and Styles, and Omos. So I thought it was a really good match. I'm glad to see the Viking Raiders win it. And, of course, that dork Riddle.
Hey, now.
So yeah, it was a really good match, especially with Styles, high flying, and Morrison, and I appreciated it. I enjoyed it. So.
Oh, you appreciated it.
I appreciated watching it.
Well, I'm glad you appreciated it, but you have this huge problem with this whole Matt Riddle and Randy Orton thing but I don't even understand. So since you're, the president of the RK Bro fan club, you have this huge problem. But other than that, overall, I kind of thought that the match was actually, pretty good. But Christy Wilson is saying that, she definitely agrees with you that Riddle is a dork. But let me hit on this really, really quick, because we did hear we kind of missed one of the key points on Raw to actually open up the show, which was when, John Cena actually came out and told everybody why he came back. But I think everybody already knew it. Everybody already knew. It was already put in place that, it was going to be Cena against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Everybody knew it was coming, so everybody knew kind of what he was going to say. I enjoyed it. The crowd reacted actually rather well to it. And the interesting thing is when you think about it, I've never been a true John Cena fan in the ring, but if it comes to John Cena and Roman Reigns, I got to go with Mr. John Cena. I don't know. It's one of the only times in a match that I will actually be going for John Cena. It's yeah. But anyway, so going back to that first match, Chris, what was your thoughts on that first match?
No, it was a good match. Omos is really big. He could do, a lot of things just, with a shove.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it was. I can't remember who it was that. Oh, it was The Miz. He was trying to use the water gun or something on Omos and then
Yeah.
almost blamed Riddle for it.
Yeah,
That
but
was-
it was perfect though. It was actually
It was.
really, really funny. And so we do have a comment from Christy Wilson that says the best part of Cena's promo was when he called Roman an a-hole. So you know
Yeah.
what? And it's
Or-
actually true though. It was, and because he's an a-hole, and that's pretty. And so
Or
Big
or one more thing, when Riddle
Yeah.
and John Cena did the bro.
bro, yeah. So Big
I
B,
tried
we were-
doing that.
so we're talking about the first tag team match of the night.
Okay.
So
That
what was
was,
your thoughts on that match?
That was a 6-man tag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was okay. So I don't know. I liked it. I mean, you know, we all know Riddle's in for the comedy, and they seem to. I don't know if they seem to be like pushing him or just kind of keeping him just relevant. I hope the Raiders get pushed a little bit more. I think they're due, but you know, Chris's thought that Riddle spraying Omos with the little squirt gun and then throwing it back at Miz and you know causing that to be the ending. I thought was pretty cool. I mean, we've seen it in the past with Eddie doing the chairs and all that. So
Yeah.
you know, sneaking in a win there. So I'll say that I thought the match was pretty decent.
Yeah, and trust me, it was. We love the drip stick.
Yeah, drifting.
Didn't Morrison have a new nickname? America's Most
Morrison?
Wanted. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Moist wanted.
yeah, moist, yeah. And so we have a few comments here too. Suzanne's actually on, so I want to say hello. How's it going tonight? And then we have, hey, I am here. Yeah, sorry, was working on getting some voice spikes. Yeah, so that's actually the wife that's actually saying hello. She's out there. She's watching tonight, so I'm glad it's going good. And then Chris, are you talking about when the Miz goes by Johnny Drip Drip? Is that
No,
Yeah,
when,
but
he's
they
talking
said
about
no.
when he came in and the ring announcer said his name, and then they came around to the announce table. He's like, "Hey, you know, whisper something," and then the announcer goes, "Oh, I want to announce it as Johnny, the America's Moist
Moist?
one."
Yeah, moist. Yep. I got you.
At the
Yeah.
beginning there.
Yeah.
Yep. So you know what? I look at our little thing here that we have going on the screen, right? So I'm red and Dragon Viper's red, and so we're Raw and we're taking on Team SmackDown of
There
Chris
you go.
Bacon and Big B over there. But anyway,
That is kind of
over
cool.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Dragon Viper, go ahead and take us to that second match.
Second match was Elias versus Jackson Riker in a Symphony of Destruction match. The winner was Riker.
Jackson Riker getting that victory. So we don't know how long this rivalry between Jackson Riker and Elias is going to be going on. I actually kind of enjoyed the match though. Whenever there's like a hardcore match going on and people are getting put through tables and you're using weapons, those are actually my favorite matches. So I was actually glad that we got to see those types of matches. I actually rather enjoyed it. I think Jackson Riker is going to be one of those guys that you're not going to see him as like a main event guy, but I think you'll see him as like a mid card, maybe get a universal title shot at some point. I think right around there you might see it at some point. I just kind of wish that they would do a little bit more with Elias, but overall,
Yeah.
when you look at this match, it was a good match. I just kind of feel bad for Elias because he lost another match. And so I kind of hope at some point that they kind of put, Elias over and actually give him a victory. But Big B, I'll start with you on this one.
Yeah, when there's always hardcore matches or weapon matches or some kind of specialty match, I kind of enjoy them. Yeah, I'm kind of, I guess, lost a little bit on how they're pushing Riker and Elias different ways. Riker being more of the hardcore bully, and then Elias, I don't know what they're doing with him. I mean, they seem like they're pushing him, and then they pull back, and then he gets in these matches that he always loses. And the one thing during the match, though, when they had the piano out there, I thought for sure somebody was going to get like put inside the piano,
Right.
you know. So, but outside of that, it was a good match. I mean, you know, I'm happy to see Riker win, and kind of disappointed that Elias lost because, like I said, I don't know what they're doing with them. They're kind of throwing me off. So,
All right. Chris, how about you?
I just wonder why Elias didn't use his guitar during the whole thing. They had one, they had a violin, they had the piano and gong and all this stuff. It was kind of interesting the way they. I mean, it was an interesting match the way all of the stuff was used.
Oh yeah,
But it was a good
absolutely.
match.
All right, so I do want to welcome in Mr. William Hudson. How you doing tonight? William Hudson is actually one of the gentlemen that I actually get autos from and sells a lot of wrestling merchandise. So if you need some of your wrestling merchandise, you can actually get it through William Hudson. Great guy, and he'll get your stuff through there really, really fast.
Yeah,
So
Exactly.
what's up,
welcome.
William?
So welcome into our show, and I hope you actually rather enjoy our show. But all right, Dragon Viper, let's go and hit this one to you. You go ahead and give your thoughts on this match.
I agree with you, Ace. When it comes to like the hardcore matches, you know, using weapons and stuff, I agree with you. That is actually one of the excitements of a match is if they use weapons. It's hardcore style, you know, kind of thing. So of course I enjoyed it. I enjoyed you know, them using the, you know, weapons and you know, Elias and Jackson Riker. If it was a regular match, I'm not gonna lie, it would have been boring. But they added those things in there, which made it a lot better. But other than that, yeah, great match. And I feel like they're not doing much with Elias and Riker right now because I don't think they have anything for them. So, and I don't really see a feud happening very often very much longer with them. So,
all right, so we have William Hudson who's thrown a comment out here too, and you know what? I agree with it. At some point, you very well might see it, but you actually see not that one. He's talking about the whole Elias.
Yeah.
He's saying that Elias is about to get his future endeavors paper. You know what? It's a possibility, but I know, Big B, you're saying no, but right now, at what point do you actually see it? Because they're not doing anything with him. So at some point, you might see him get it. You know, they're starting to release so many guys.
Yeah, no, I see where you guys are coming from. I kind of hope that hopefully WWE is listening to us because I think we throw out some good ideas every week. And here comes another one. I draft him over to SmackDown, Elias.
Mm-hmm. SmackDown needs help.
Team him up with Booze or whatever his name is,
Oh,
the guitar guy for.
Oh, it's Bugs.
Bugs. Yeah,
Bugs.
team them up together, make them a tag team, make them some kind of rock star tag team or something. You know, rocker, not use the rocker name, but you know, some kind of tag team like that and see where it goes. And then after that, if it doesn't work, then you know, give him his papers and tell him goodbye.
Well, William Hudson, I see your other comment too, and you're saying that you just stumbled across this. Well, yes, you can actually watch us every Sunday live right here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. We go live on 9 Pacific, so that would be 9 Pacific, 11 Central, and 12 Eastern. You can catch us every Sunday right here on the Coast to Coast Network. All right, so with that, Dragon Viper, why don't you go ahead and take us into that next match?
the next match was Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Tamina, with the winners being Tamina and Natalya.
And you know what? We finally saw what we thought we were going to saw. At the very end, you saw Nia actually get frustrated with Reginald too. You know, because for a while, it was always Shayna. But now you saw Nia do it too. At some point, you kind of thought it was coming. However, for the longest time, I said that Shayna and Nia were going to split up because I knew that Reginald was like kind of getting in the middle when you saw it. And you're like, okay, so Reginald's going to stay with Nia and then Shayna and Nia are going to split up. But now you're seeing that Nia's like, okay, I'm done with you now too. And then keep in mind what happened after the match. Reginald actually ended up winning the 24/7 championship. So That was kind of cool.
That
Was kind of really cool. Yeah, no, it was cool. But overall, again, the match was mediocre. I'm not a huge Nia Jax or Shayna fan because I don't think that they're the best technical wrestlers out there because they're not. They actually do a lot of botches, but still, overall, the match was I would say semi-decent. But anyway, Crispy Bacon, you go ahead and take this one away.
I agree. It was decent. I mean, it was a good match. There was nothing up, for grabs. There's no titles on the line. I guess if you want to count Reginald winning a title, the 24/7 title. But I mean, it wasn't it was probably a grade of C, maybe. Nothing special.
The 24/7, the 7-Eleven, the whole champion. Yeah. But Big B, how about you?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Ace, you nailed it earlier. I mean, I think at least me and you thought that the girls are going to split up and Nia was going to side with Reginald there. I kind of thought at the end there when they're sitting in the ring, I'm like, oh, okay, here we're going to get the turn here. And I was kind of shocked that it was turn on Reginald. But again, I don't know what they're going to do with Reginald. I mean, I know he's the 24/7 champ now, but he's been with 3 different ladies and he's gotten canned on all 3 of them. So, but for the match, it was a so-so match. I mean, I think the best part was when the 24/7 champ came out and Reginald hit him and took the title and took off. So,
Tozawa.
I mean, to me, Reginald should be over in the Olympics doing gymnastics. I mean, the guy could just jump around. So
yeah.
No, but that's why I would kind of be interested to watch him actually in a match in the ring because he seems like he's got a ton of talent. So I would actually love to see it.
Yeah, no, I hope they give him a run somehow or some matches here soon to see what he can do. So,
Christy Wilson is actually saying, I'm glad that Nia and Shayna ditch Reginald. He was a noose around their necks. So, yeah, he was, but because it's just like Big B said, he kind of started with one and he kind of jumped around and so he's just kind of going back and forth here. But Dragon Viper, how about you?
I must not be feeling good tonight because I actually agree with you again on this.
Holy cow.
No, I agree. It was a mediocre match. I also agreed that those two were going to split up because of Reginald. But it shocked me when I actually saw, Nia headbutt Reginald in the head. So, and ditched him. I agree that I saw that Nia was going to, team up with Reginald and, deal with Shayna. But, yeah, it was a complete shock for me, too. The match, again, was mediocre. I didn't really care too much for it. And I honestly think if they put Reginald in anything, let him go deal with the 24/7 title like they've been doing with, others that they can't seem to do anything with. So, yeah, other than that, it was okay.
And those of you with flash photography, we will now hold for a pose. All right. So anyway, Dragon Viper, go ahead and take us into that next match.
Next match was Sheamus versus Humberto Carrillo for the number one contenders match for the U.S. title, with Sheamus winning. So Humberto,
did you just say number one contenders match?
Yes, that's what they called it. If Sheamus won, then Humberto wouldn't get a shot at the title.
Oh.
But if Humberto won, then he would. Well, Sheamus won, so Humberto doesn't win.
I'm glad you clarified that because when you said that, I'm like, that's not accurate because I was going to say he's the U.S. champion.
That's why I was trying to say the whole thing before you said something.
Yeah, no.
But no, Humberto doesn't get a shot at the U.S. title. So,
well, this Humberto Carrillo and Sheamus thing has been going on for a while, as you saw. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I kind of picked back up is because Sheamus had his nose that was shattered, so he got put in that whole little mask to protect his face, and so now they had to pick it back up. But Now they're going to go on to something else now, and so who
Oh,
knows who Sheamus is going to go against now. So it's now time, and we're going to find out. So Big B, go ahead and kick us off on this match.
Yeah, I was kind of bored with the match. I mean, we've seen it. Last few weeks these two have been battling, but I see why they brought the rivalry back because of the busted up nose.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure Humberto was going to win and get his title shot, but I kind of think they're going to put a Priest in that match and give him the title shot for the U.S. title. So outside that, I was kind of bored with the match.
Didn't they show Priest at the end though? Like he was watching the fight.
Yeah, he was watching the match.
Yeah, but the thing is I think they knew they do need to put him against Sheamus because they need to do something with Damian Priest. They haven't done anything with him for a while. Ever since he took on The Miz and got in that whole thing with The Miz, they haven't done anything since. And so he needs... Huh?
Don't forget about Bad Bunny. I mean, they got to bring him back too.
Oh, yeah, Bad Bunny, man. He's a bad man. Bad Bunny's a bad man. But... Yeah, and so, Christy Wilson is saying, I think Sheamus faces off against Damian Priest. It's just like you were saying. I agree with that. And then William Hudson is also saying, sorry to see Sheamus so low on the card. He's someone who can still be a main event status. Absolutely, he can be.
Oh, yeah.
I've always said that, Sheamus can be that guy. Sheamus is still that wrestler that can still be the main event status. And it's just something they haven't done in a while. It's like they get him up to the main event status and then they pull him down. And then they have guys like Drew McIntyre who sit up there forever and get shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. And Bobby Lashley. Yeah, and Roman Reigns and guys like that. But then you have like Sheamus who can still do it. Yeah, and then you bring guys like Goldberg back who's like a part-time guy, but then you have guys like Sheamus who works his butt off and still there, and he doesn't get a shot, but Goldberg does. It's just, and I understand that Goldberg is a draw. I completely understand it. He's a draw. It's about money. I get it. But Sheamus is that guy too that has kind of earned it. If you think about it, he's earned it.
I mean, honestly, I'd like to see Sheamus and Cesaro battle for the either heavyweight title, whichever one. I don't care which one. I think that would be a good matchup.
I was thinking that would have been the next matchup too.
And so the wife actually brought up a funny thing here. This was like several years ago when Sheamus came out as a heel and he had that interesting like beard when he had all that stuff through it, and he came out and started and the fans started cheering, "You look stupid," and then Sheamus was just
Is that the time when John Cena called him a big jar of mayonnaise or something?
No, that was after.
Yeah, but when the fans started cheering, "You look stupid," is when Sheamus was like, "Okay, well, you paid to see me, so who's stupid now?" And I'm like, yeah, I was like, that's
good comeback. Not.
I was like, no, that actually was. I'm like, that was brilliant. You paid to see me, so who's stupid now? Okay, you're right. You paid to come and see me, so it's your fault. But anyways, so all right, so I completely forgot who we were on here. I think we were on.
It's me or Crispy Bacon next.
All right, well, Crispy Bacon, you go ahead and take it over.
It was a good match. I think we all knew, like you were saying, that Sheamus was going to win. This match or rivalry has been going on since I think either the second to last episode or the last episode of when they're in the Thunderdome, where he kind of jumped him from the backstage and injured him before the match, and then virtually won by default. Sheamus did, and it just kind of been going back and forth from there. So I think we kind of figured Sheamus would have won.
Now, Dragon Viper, now it's your turn.
Oh, I didn't really care much for this match. There are I do see a Sheamus versus Damian Priest match for the U.S. title, and I hope that Damian Priest wins because I agree Sheamus belongs in the main title picture, the main event status, and So I thought it was okay. Just I'm wanting Damian Priest to be U.S. title so Sheamus can get back up there. So.
All right, so that was everything. Everybody on that match. So Dragon Viper, go ahead and take us into that next one.
Next one was Lashley's Open Challenge, which ended up being the returning Keith Lee, and of course, Lashley won that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody knew that Lashley was going to win it. However, it was actually a good match. I actually wasn't expecting it to be a good match, but it was actually a good match. I don't think that anybody was expecting Keith Lee to actually come out. I know I wasn't. I knew that what I actually thought was going to happen is, when Goldberg came out after the match was over and then laughed and said, you know what, I'm next. What I thought was going to happen was that he was going to actually come out on the challenge and then say, I'm not going to challenge you now. I'm challenging you later. I thought that's what was going to happen. But I was actually happy to see Keith Lee and see him back again. So congratulations, Keith Lee, for coming back, and I look forward to watching you again in many more matches. So, Dragon Viper, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this match was definitely, I knew Lashley would win because obviously they were trying to make Lashley versus Goldberg. So it was no surprise. But I do think Keith Lee is up there. I think Keith Lee is main event star, and unfortunately with his injury, it sidelined him and hurt him a little bit in the company. But I think him being back, he's able to rise back up there and be a main event and go for the title. So I mean, really glad to see Keith Lee back. So he's one of my favorites.
Crispy
Bacon.
Bacon.
You have a favorite.
He does.
No, it was a good match. I agree. I was rooting for Keith Lee. I knew Bobby Lashley was going to win, but I kind of had hope for Keith Lee. But it was a good match, I thought. I mean, he has to give it up at some point. I don't know when, but.
All right, Big B.
See, this is one thing about the internet that kind of spoils things. Because like Ace said, we figured Goldberg was going to come out, and he did it. Keith Lee came out. Now, if it wasn't for us knowing that they're setting up Goldberg Lashley, I kind of thought maybe Keith Lee would have won this match.
And challenge
the way,
him, yeah.
yeah, the way Lashley's been going, it's like, okay, maybe they're getting bored with them being in front of fans. They're going to give it to Lee, but we all know where it's going. So I wasn't shocked that. Overall the match was good. I mean, Keith Lee definitely is going to be a contender down the road. And then of course Goldberg comes out, and we know what happened there. Gets in his face, laughs at him, and said he's next. Plain and simple. So we know where WWE's going. That's kind of why I hate the internet a little bit when it comes to wrestling, because it doesn't give us the shock factor anymore.
All right, so William Hudson says that, let's start with Christy Wilson quick, who says that she was happy to see Keith Lee back. I think a lot of us were actually to see him back. I was very happy to see it. And now we jump to William Hudson, who says Keith Lee is a worker and the IC belt is for the workers. He needs that IC belt run for 6 months or so and see how he does. Yeah, so you know what? Maybe with the IC, maybe, he gets – yeah, but on the IC part though, maybe he gets drafted to SmackDown and then he can go get a run with the IC belt. You never know, because generally that's what's going to happen. They're going to either take a run with the US or a run with Intercontinental first. You never know. But anyway, Dragon Viper.
For the next match, it's NXT's champion Karrion Kross versus Jeff Hardy, with the winner being Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. I don't care what a lot of people say, but this was a message. To me, this was a clear message from Vince McMahon to the NXT brand. That if you look at it, that's kind of what it was, because I'm like, there's no way that he's just going to bring Karrion Kross up just to lose like that. So to me, this was a clear message that says, this is the staple right here of WWE. NXT to me doesn't matter. And so to me, that's what it looked like. That's what the message seemed like it looked like to me, was that he's like, hey, this is my show. I understand that Triple H runs NXT. I get that. But it was kind of like a slap in the face to NXT, being like, I'm showing you I don't care. And that, but because I was actually surprised that Jeff Hardy won, to be perfectly honest. I really, really was. Yeah. I thought that Karrion Kross was going to win that. And so that's why I thought that once I saw that, that's what the message was Vince was like, I'm showing you I don't care. NXT, I don't care. But Big B, what do you think?
The message part, if it plays out more, then maybe, but I think, overall, I think we're all shocked that Jeff Hardy actually won, when Kross came up, because typically, it was a good match. Jeff Hardy got his victory, probably overdue, because Jeff Hardy's another guy, too, that's in trouble and gets pushed, gets pulled back into trouble, so don't know what they're doing, but yeah, I was kind of thrown off, but I'm kind of going to lay it out here that we're going to see NXT invade more, as we're going to say, and set up something for Survivor Series, I think. Some kind of control, I think, between Vince and Triple H, I think.
That wouldn't be the first time, though.
No, but I'm saying this one's going to be for control. If NXT wins, because they got to put something on the line. They got to get Vince out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we have a few comments here that says, and William Hudson was just saying, I was just glad to see Hardy finally get a win after his losing streak. I was too. I was actually happy for Jeff Hardy. I'm glad that Jeff Hardy finally got a victory. Jeff Hardy's always been one of my favorites, so I was glad to actually see him get a victory. And then Christy Wilson is saying, I hated that match. Karrion Kross usually does well with Scarlett by his side, but without her, it just didn't work. And then the match was Vince giving Triple H the middle finger. It really was. Like that's what I was saying. It was giving him the middle finger. But Dragon Viper, go ahead and tell me what you thought.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match, and in NXT, Karrion Kross is definitely one of those that are, tough, and he's NXT champion for a reason. So, you've got him losing against Jeff Hardy, who's normally losing. I'm glad Jeff Hardy won. I really am. But when you've got NXT coming in, especially their champion, and losing to Jeff Hardy, that's definitely a sign for something. So, overall, it was a good match. I'm kind of curious on where this is going to go with NXT and Raw and SmackDown. So,
all right, Chris.
They're hyping Karrion Kross to be like, and he probably is. I haven't watched much NXT, but he was going to win the match against Hardy. But I don't. It might be a slap in the face to NXT, but you got Shayna Baszler, you had Asuka out there who did that, and a few others. So, if it wasn't for NXT, some of those stars may not be where they are.
All right, so we have an actual comment from William Hudson here who says, I've had the opportunity to talk with Jeff several times in person, and he's been in a state where he just shows up to the arena and says, okay, what do you want me to do today? So hopefully it boosts him up. It really does. Jeff seems like that type of guy that just says, what do you want? I'll do whatever it is you want me to do, I'll do it. Do you want me to put a guy over? If you want me to put a guy over, I'll do it. Do you want me to win a match? Sure, I'll do it. And I know a comment that Jeff Hardy had made a long time ago was when Jeff said, you know what, I would love to have the WWE Championship one more time. And Jeff's like, I don't even care if it's for 30 seconds, to where if I win the belt and then somebody comes in and cashes in on me and Money in the Bank, he's like, I don't care. As long as I get to hold that belt one more time for 30 seconds, that's all I would care about.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me shows a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's earned it, but I don't think he'll get it.
No, but he's definitely earned it. He definitely has earned it.
And he should get it, but I don't think
they won't give it to him.
Yeah.
No, they won't, but he's definitely earned it.
Oh,
so,
exactly.
So, yeah, that was the whole end of Raw. So now, we can go ahead and jump over.
We got one more match.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have this, the good, I would say the kind of good ending, depending on who it is, because you do have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. And the interesting thing is I think everybody knew that Charlotte was going to win, but I don't know if anybody knew that, Nikki Ash was going to cash in, even though they put the match at the end of the night. So you kind of figured something was going to happen. And so when I was watching it with the wife, I told her, A, either Nikki Ash is going to cash in, or B, Becky Lynch was going to show up. So I was thinking one of the two was going to happen. I knew something was, I just wasn't quite sure exactly what it was that was going to happen. And you know what? Nikki Ash happened to cash in at the end and win the title after Rhea attacked Charlotte. So who would have thought?
Well, I think I actually put that in the comments when we're in our chat, that if we thought Nikki was going to cash in tonight or that night. So
yeah, I mean, I do believe you said that she was going to cash in, the night after Money in the Bank, but I wasn't personally expecting it myself. But Crispy Bacon, what'd you think?
I thought it was a good two matches, even though the one with Nikki Ash kind of lasted 30 seconds to a minute, but it was still good. And I think I heard a stat one time. I think it was at Money in the Bank that when the Miss Money in the Bank cashed in, they're 100%.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's actually not true. They're not.
Not collectively, but just on the women's side.
No, I'm saying that's not even true, because Carmella's a 2-time winner, and she didn't win the belt twice. She only won it once.
But didn't she cashed in both times though?
Well, cashed in.
Yeah, I believe the second time she cashed in and she lost it.
Huh.
Oh, no, because I think I heard that too at Money in the Bank, that the women cashed in was 100%.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, but Carmella's a
Well,
2-time winner. Yeah. Because I was going to say, I know Carmella's a 2-time winner. But anyways, Dragon Viper, what'd you think?
Yeah, I'm just glad that Flair is no longer women's champion. I don't care how it was done. As long as she lost the belt, I didn't care. I think it was a good thing that Nikki won it. She has earned it. And it kind of sucked to see Ripley not win it at all, but at least once again, Flair isn't champion anymore, and hopefully she won't get it back for a very, very, very long time, if anymore. So,
yeah, I agree with that part.
All right. So I think that was Big B. Did you already?
No, but I mean, you guys covered it all. I mean, like Viper said, I think she needs to step away from the title picture a little bit, because she's only been up. She's been up 5 years now? Is that when Flair? 5-6 years, maybe 7.
Yeah.
And she's already had the title 13, 14 times.
Yeah.
In that stretch.
13
yeah. So, and then I just saw Chrissy Wilson posted that Charlotte's been cashed in 3 times and lost her title every time. So.
Oh.
Right, yeah. And
That's
so,
sure,
yep. So some of the comments we have, Amy saying that she loves Jeff Hardy. Yes, I know a lot of us love Jeff Hardy. Christy Wilson was also excited to see Nikki cash in and win. She also said it must also
that's
suck
what I
to
was
be
talking
Charlotte.
about.
Yep. So that's what you're talking about. And then William Hudson, I expect to see Becky Lynch return at SummerSlam. That's a high possibility. I really do see that happening. And then, of course, Christy Wilson, Asuka didn't cash in last year because her Money in the Bank match was for the title. Yes, it was because Becky was
Oh, yeah.
vacating it. So, yeah, so that technically actually wasn't a cash in. She just kind of won it because
we're
of
only
that. Yeah.
questioning Carmella's second round. So okay.
Yeah. All right. So with that, now we'll jump over to SmackDown, and so we all know that
We're not going to talk about the big finish in Raw.
Nikki
did
Ash.
too.
We said we did.
We did.
Oh no, that was SmackDown. Forget it.
Yeah. We talked about Nikki Ash.
No,
All
I had my endings mixed up. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So Dragon Viper, we're gonna go ahead and jump over to you. Let's go to that first match.
The first match was the returning Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn, and the winner was Finn Balor.
I'm so glad to see Finn Balor back. I'll tell you what, I'm so happy he is back, which people actually speculated that he was coming back because he was absent from NXT the previous 2 weeks, and everyone's like, where is he? And then there was speculation that he was coming back, and he did come back. And I'm so glad to see him back, and now he's coming back and saying, I'm here to win titles. That's what I'm here for. So I really hope he does. But Big B, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, when we saw Ballard in this match, I mean I knew Finn was going to win. I like him. I still kind of upset that WWE I think missed an opportunity to pair him up with the Fiend and run a kind of a weird story angle with them two, but that's besides the point. But Sami Zayn, to me, I mean I think the kid's got talent, but I think he's got to go away for a little bit and regroup and come back with a new character.
Yeah.
Gimmick and stuff. But I'm glad to see Finn back. I don't think he ever should have went back down, but I think it was his choice to go back down, though. I could be wrong on that.
No, it was. He chose to. He chose to go back down. So we do have a few comments here. Amy wants to know when Randy's coming back. Actually, Randy's currently out right now. He's probably not going to be back for a little while. He's nursing some kind of injury.
The injury, I heard it was personal issues, family issues.
Yeah.
I have something on that.
Yeah.
This was actually 3 hours ago, but pretty much Randy Orton is on the inactive list right now. There's nothing that says what is wrong, just that it says he's inactive or on that list, and he's advertised for August 2nd to be on Raw, so he might be showing up August 2nd, but. Yeah, he's on inactive list right now. So
that's not tomorrow, but the next week.
Yeah, following
the following week. Yeah, and then William Hudson saying the only 40-year-old in NXT, and he was.
Finn Balor's 40.
Yeah, he had a birthday today or yesterday.
Yeah, Finn Balor was getting up there. But anyways, so, I do agree. It's time for Sami Zayn to kind of change a little bit, to get a different character going. Yeah, he needs to do something. But Dragon Viper, go ahead.
About this match, I enjoy Balor. Balor's amazing, very athletic. He's. I'm glad to see him back on the main roster. I know there was the longest time where Balor was saying, I'm not coming back to the main roster, but good to see him back. So hopefully, he does get another opportunity at his title. We'll talk about that later. And Zayn, I say it every time I mention Zayn's name. Zayn needs to go away. I don't care about his character. I don't even care if he changes characters. He's annoying, and he needs to go away. He's a dork like Matt Riddle. Just pointing that out there. So, just pointing it out there.
All right, so William Hudson, since you're on here right now, you know Dragon Viper's a huge Matt Riddle fan, and he's a huge Sami Zayn fan. So if you have any of those autos, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead and let him know, and he'll gladly get them from you.
Don't
But
listen
anyway-
to William.
A
But
big
anyways-
8x10.
But anyway, so Crispy Bacon, what'd you think of this?
That was a good match. Finn Balor's, he's talented, entertaining. Sami Zayn, like y'all said, he needs to go, change character. I don't know. I'll take Riddle over Sami Zayn. Just because of his conspiracy theories that he likes to say. Not really true, but no, it was a good match, I thought.
All right, so Dragon Viper, guess what? Williams on your side, he said that he's not a fan of those two either. So looks like you're off the hook on that. So, all right.
I would still send them to him.
I would still do it just to be funny.
Yeah.
I would still do it. But
Hey,
anyway,
I do need firewood, fire starters, so it could be sent to me. I'll just use
Alright,
them as
so-
fire starters.
Oh,
Dragon Viper, come on now. All right, so
embrace
Go
the
in.
vision.
go into that next match. So later on, we can come to where you're embracing the vision.
I'm not
Go.
embracing nothing.
But go ahead.
Dawkins versus Gable, with the winner being Dawkins.
Yes, Angelo Dawkins and Chad Gable. Isn't it kind of interesting though how since Otis paired with Chad Gable, Otis has been on this weird tear. He's this, I don't know. He's a completely different guy. Yeah, he's like a resurgence guy. But anyways, it was good for Angelo Dawkins to win the match. It's just going to be – I'm just not sure with Montez Ford kind of not wrestling right now. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what they're going to do with Angelo Dawkins. How long are they going to go with this feud between Dawkins and Chad Gable and Otis? I have no idea at this point. But Big B, what's your thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, I'm with you, Ace. I don't know where they're going. I know Otis is the one that put Ford on the shelf. I do recall. So
Yeah.
so they're gonna try to milk this until Ford gets back and give them a match. Who knows how long that's gonna be? Dawkins, if he's gonna be a singles for a while, hopefully he gets a decent run, get some pushes. But I think they're gonna do a lot of with Gable and Otis. So.
But
Outside of that, for the match itself, it was decent. I mean, nothing to write home about, I guess.
Yeah, but this is where it actually kills a lot of tag teams too.
Oh yeah.
When you think about it, when somebody gets hurt on a tag team, this is where it kills tag teams because you have one guy who comes out and is really really strong and he really shows up, and they go, okay, maybe the other guy's weak, and then they decide to break the tag team apart because they're like. But no, I'm not saying they won't, but I'm saying this could kill. This is what kills tag teams because of this very reason right here.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll
yeah.
happen, but it does happen.
Well, see
No,
what
you're
they
exactly
did.
right. I mean, but both of those guys are strong. Both of those guys can make a singles run, and both of them are an excellent as tag team. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, see what they did with the Viking Raiders. One of them was injured, so they kept the other one out until that one got healed up, and then brought both of them back. Now, if you're having one of them face, in a singles match, and that's not good enough. I mean, that's not going to give them enough credibility to stay as a tag team. And so I think they should do what they did with the Viking Raiders and hold off on their team, somebody on their team, until both of them are able to, be on there.
All right, so Crispy Bacon, go ahead and take it away.
No, I agree with Big B. It wasn't to write home about, but it was still a good match. The question that the Street Profits probably are asking is, who wants to smoke? Like they always say.
Who wants to smoke?
Yeah.
All right. So, Dragon Viper, go ahead and lead us into that next one, sir.
Well, before I do that, I will mention one thing about this match: boring. It was. I thought it was boring. Next match would be Belair versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's title. Winner being Belair.
Come on. Everybody knew Belair was going to win this. Nobody thought that Carmella was going to win it. Everybody knew Belair was going to win it. You know why?
Yeah.
Because she is the EST. That's why. That's why everybody knew she was going to win it. Bianca Belair is going to probably hold this title for actually a while. I actually thought that, when she was going to do this whole rivalry with Bayley before Bayley got hurt, Bayley might have potentially won it, but now that Bayley's out, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to challenge Bianca. I don't think that this thing with Carmella is going to continue to go on. So it's going to see who's going to step up now and actually challenge her. Overall, the match was decent. Carmella's getting better, which I'm happy to see that she's getting better in the ring. And maybe as she goes along, you know what? Maybe someday she'll get another shot, and not only another shot, but maybe she'll actually get another title run. You never know. It's Carmella. Mella is money. That's what they call her. Mella is money. But Dragon Viper, yeah, right. And Dragon Viper sitting there, rolling his eyes like he normally does, because when you actually talk about, who he likes, his list is like that small, and who he doesn't like, his list is like that big. So we're right back to where we were. But Dragon Viper, go ahead and tell me your opinion on this match.
Well, you'll think my opinion's wrong.
Probably.
I mean, both females have good talent, but I was same as Belair's husband's partners match. I was kind of bored of it. Like I said, they have good talent, but I wasn't really thrilled with the match. So that's all I have.
That's all you have. That's
all I have.
Crispy Bacon.
No, it was a good match.
All right, your time's up. All right, Big B. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was a good match, but aren't you not supposed to use the hair as much? Like to win matches or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what she does, man.
No, I know it's what she does,
thing.
but
hair versus hair.
Yeah.
It's gonna come to that, so
It has.
Yeah, it'll come there. Shave your head. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so Big B, do you have anything to say on this match or not?
No, I mean they've done this match three of the last 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
So there's nothing different. We've broke it down. I do see. I mean, I can't name another lady on Raw right now that could step up until Bayley comes back, unless they put Banks over there or something. So Belair's going to have that title for a little bit.
So,
I do see a hair versus hair match or something with Belair losing that ponytail.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying that Becky, Becky might, who knows, Becky could come back and end up on SmackDown. You never know.
She's been on both brands, so.
That's that. So
yeah, Seth Rollins is on SmackDown. Don't forget that they're married, so she could definitely end up over there on SmackDown and challenge Bianca. But all right, Dragon Viper, go ahead and take us into that next one.
Toni Storm versus Zelina Vega with the winner Storm.
Of course. Now it's kind of interesting now because Zelina Vega's back and she hasn't even done anything since she came back, and they kind of hyped her up and they're like, yeah, we're going to put her in the Money in the Bank match and hype her up, and they don't even do anything with her. She continues to lose, and overall, it was a good match overall, but it just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that it just doesn't make any sense, but who knows what makes sense anymore. So, Crispy Bacon, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, I don't know what makes sense anymore. I agree with that. I mean, it was interesting that Karrion Kross lost his first match. but Tony Storm won hers. I just thought that was interesting.
Well, like I said, Tony Storm is actually on the main roster. Karrion Kross
Well,
technically is not.
yeah, but they both came from NXT though. Just
Yes.
just recently, and that was their first matchup.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was their first show.
Yeah. All right. So, Big B, what you got?
yeah, Tony Storm. I think I just read a comment. I can see her getting a good push in SmackDown, and when with Vega being pushed or brought back, I mean, it could be a slap in the face because she ain't gonna do much because her husband did jump to AEW, so could be a little punishment on WWE side to her to bring her in and then not do nothing with her. So I mean, we'll see where that goes, but. Storm, I think, on the other hand, I think she can, force her to be reckoned with and make a run at getting up there and getting challenged for the title.
All right. Dragon Viper?
Yeah, that was a good match, and I agree with Big B on that. I mean, and even Christy Wilson about how it could, Zelina's not getting that push that she was about to start with because of her husband, but going to AEW, I personally think it too. I mean, that's probably one of the things that's causing Charlotte some grief in WWE as well. Maybe a little bit is because of Andrade being in AEW. So, and she's engaged to him. So, yeah, I think Tony Storm winning, I thought that was a good choice. I think she's going to do well on SmackDown.
All right, so we'll go ahead and jump to the last match and just kind of tie it in with everything else that kind of happened. So, that because that last match was Uso versus Dominic Mysterio. Uso ended up winning, and then we know, after the match, the head of the table came down and started talking about how he does not accept John Cena's challenge. And that's when Finn Balor came out and said, okay, since you don't want to accept John Cena's, will you accept mine?
Oh,
And
you're
then
blowing the ending for me. Come on. No.
Right. Oh, come on. You know that. And
No
then,
spoilers.
so William Hudson saying Storm is a believable champion. She is. Christy Wilson, been a fan of Tony Storm since 2017 Mae Young Classic. And then William Hudson, you can see the realism in Storm defeating either women's champion. Absolutely. You definitely can with that. Tony Storm's going to definitely be a force to be reckoned with on the main roster. She's going to definitely be up there right now. Yeah. So Big B, kind of mix in everything like we were saying the last match and then the very ending, so we can kind of wrap it up with our final, fantasy bookings that we have.
Yeah, so just quick, I mean, Dominic lost, Uso won. I don't know what they're doing with Dominic and Ray. I mean, I know they lost the titles to the Usos, so they're going to build that again. Finn Balor coming out and challenging Roman. Kind of a little shocker, but I mean that should be a decent match down the road. So yeah, nothing more to really say about that.
All right, Crispy Bacon.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Not much there. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we don't.
All right, Dragon Viper.
I thought it was a good match. Glad Uso won. And it's going to be interesting to find out how Finn goes against Reigns with John Cena already, planned on going against him at SummerSlam. So,
well, you'll probably see a match to where it's Cena against Balor, and then the winner goes up against Reigns. Yep. I think that's what you're going to end up seeing. Yeah. And so, William Hudson saying, speaking of fantasy bookings, does anyone else think Goldberg beats Lashley at SummerSlam? So the way I see it is that I don't think that Big E's going to cash in on Goldberg. I actually think he's going to cash in on Cena, if anything. Yeah, I think he'll end up doing that. So, but I do see Goldberg actually winning. I see Goldberg winning. I see Cena winning. Big E's going to cash in on somebody, but I in the end, I think it'll be Cena.
or Cena.
Or Reigns. Yeah, or Reigns, one of the two. But now we can jump to our final thing of the night, which is our typical fantasy bookings. So Dragon Viper, you go ahead and you take it off. Tonight is actually week 4. So week 4 of our fantasy bookings. So go ahead, Dragon Viper.
All right, so it all starts. I've got SmackDown. It all starts with me in the ring, as I'm the owner, and I announce that there will be a new GM. As I'm starting to announce who the GM is, I get interrupted by Bailey. Bailey mentioned that Frankie Monet hasn't defended the title in the last couple weeks, and she wants a shot. Baszler comes down and said that she's tired of Bailey interfering in her matches and wants a match with her. I told Bailey that if she wants a chance for the women's title, she will have to win it in a women's over-the-top battle royal match for a spot in that because I changed it to a triple threat women's title match.
Mm-hmm.
And so whoever wins the battle royal will end up being in that third spot. Well, then all of a sudden so that was for the first match. And the winner of that third spot is AJ Lee. She's going to end up going for the title. And then, in the back, Baszler's mad at Bailey. So end up being match later on the night, Bailey versus Baszler, and no DQ match. And the winner was Baszler, as she broke Bailey's arm, so Bailey's out for a while. In the ring, the Hurt Business comes out and mentions about Matt Hardy being in the Hurt Business. Matt Hardy disagrees. He's just mad at Goldberg because he's sick of hearing about Goldberg. So all of a sudden, MVP says, if you're not with us, you're against us. And they start beating on Matt Hardy. Then match 2 was Matt Hardy versus Lashley, with the winner being Lashley. After that, Goldberg comes out and there ends up being at the pay-per-view. It'll be Hardy versus Goldberg in a 30-man Iron Man match. Because Matt Hardy says he's better and has better moves and lasts longer than Goldberg, and Goldberg disagrees. Don't do that, because you're gonna mess me up. And then it was Natalya versus Sasha Banks, with the winner being Natalya. Adam Cole versus Mace for the number 1 contender spot for the IC title at the pay-per-view. With Retribution down there. Well, the winner of the match was Mace because of the help of Retribution. Then let's see, backstage, Hurt Business laughed because of the fact that they have, Alexander has no match for the pay-per-view. I told them that he has a match, but it will be against somebody of my choosing, which will be mentioned at the pay-per-view. Match 6 main event, Goldberg versus Cedric Alexander. With the Hurt Business, it's a non-title match. Goldberg won by DQ. Hardy, comes out and tells Hurt Business, because the Hurt Business beats on Goldberg. Matt told him to leave him alone because he wants Goldberg, 100%. They start beating on Matt Hardy as well. And then Murphy comes down to assist them, and they beat on, they're evened out and they're beating on each other. And here comes the Big Show coming out, and he helps the Hurt Business. And then all of a sudden, the GM comes out, none other than Shane McMahon. So Shane told them to stop, and all 3 of them have a match together, or, different matches. And then Big Show comes out, or Big Show's out there, and he tells Big Show that he will be facing at the pay-per-view all 4 members of Retribution as T-Bar returns. So it'll be Big Show versus all 4 Retribution members at the pay-per-view. And I probably skipped one because I'm trying to hurry.
And you still need reckoning over there at some point. But
No, I don't need her. I've
that's right.
got an idea with a female, so just
All right.
not.
Big B.
All right, so I got the AEW brand. Lost my thought. So the GM starts off in the ring with the table set up for a contract signing for the main event at the AEW pay-per-view. First, he gets on the mic and says that he wants to address the Kevin Owens situation first, and states that Kevin Owens has been suspended indefinitely for his actions last week, stunning the referee a couple times. So KO's been suspended. He first calls down Roman Reigns. Reigns makes it to the table, sits down, and then he calls out the AEW champion, Kenny Omega. Omega makes his way down, sits down. He hands the contract to Roman Reigns first, but Omega pulls it from him, and he says he's the champ. He signs first. So Kenny Omega signs the contract, and he tosses it to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns about ready to sign it. He stops, grabs the mic, and he says that, a wise man told him once, card is subject to change. So he is offering his spot to his new Shield member, Baron Corbin, to take on Kenny Omega at the pay-per-view. So Baron Corbin comes down. He gives the end of days to Kenny Omega and signs the contract and throws it at Kenny Omega. So got that. So our first match is going to be a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the tag titles. New Day versus Rowan and Gable, the Minnesota Bullies, as we like to call them, against Omos and Titus O'Neil, with the winners being the Minnesota Bullies due to the distraction of the Shield coming down and getting involved with O'Neil and Titus. The next match was just a simple one-on-one match with Mark Henry and Drew McIntyre. Mark Henry kind of squash match. Drew McIntyre just didn't seem to be with it today, kind of down on his luck. More to come on that. Third match, we got Dana Brooke versus Tessa Blanchard. Well thought out match, but Blanchard gets the upper hand and does the old sleeper hold on her to put her to sleep. So win by submission. The next match, we got Riddick Moss versus Kona Reeves versus Owen. I think that's how you pronounce his name. With Kona winning due to distraction from Rey Mysterio on Riddick Moss. So that left Conan to hit his finisher for the win on Owen. Match 5 was Dominic Mysterio versus Bad Big B. That match ended in a no contest because Ray came out to attack Big B before the match, and then Riddick Moss came out behind them, and all four of them started to brawl. So the match was thrown out. Match 6 was a triple threat for to determine the women's number one contender, Blackheart versus Hartwell versus Gonzalez. The match was a well-fought match between all three competitors. Hartwell was about ready to set up to finish off Blackheart, but then Rhea Ripley came down, destroyed all three of them, left the ring. Before she left the ring, she pulled Hartwell over Blackheart for the 1-2-3. So Hartwell is your number one contender. That's how AEW finishes.
Oh, all right. So finishes just like that. Okay. And then we have Tim Fielder, who has the Impact. And so with Impact, he's got Shelton Benjamin versus Jam, which I'm assuming is John Moxley versus the True Bros. So Usos win a hard-fought battle. After the match, the chairs come out, and the Usos smashing them on the tag champs. The True Bros come out and clean house. Then match 2, you have Nikki Cross and Chelsea Green versus Tamina and Candice LeRae. Tamina and LeRae getting the victory by leveraging on the ropes. Then you have Ricochet versus Montez Ford. Ricochet wins. Johnny Grago runs out to beat Bull Stars. Carlito's music plays and save the days, prompts Steel to come out and announce a ladder match for the X Division title. Goldust versus Drew Gulak, a squash match with Goldust winning. And then you have Sheamus versus AJ Steel Cage. Both started out punching each other with Samoa Joe. I should have said not AJ, but Samoa Joe getting the upper hand and bashing Sheamus's head. Sheamus broke free and started to climb. As he climbed, Samoa Joe grabbed his foot. Sheamus knocked him down and landed a crossbody for a 2 count. The two continued to battle, and Sheamus bro kick Samoa Joe as Sheamus about to walk out of the cage door. Moxley slammed the door shut on Sheamus, allowing Samoa Joe to win with a submission and the right to face Moxley for the championship. So it looks like you're going to have Samoa Joe versus Jon Moxley for the championship. And then for mine, you have the NXT brand. So with that, week 1, the first match that we have of the night, the winner gets to choose the stipulation. And so the first one is Roderick Strong versus Bobby Fish. And this is for the stipulation for the Cruiserweight Championship. Bobby Fish beat Roderick Strong. Then match 2, you have Edge and Christian versus AJ Styles and The Miz. The winning team gets inserted into the tag team title match at the next pay-per-view. The winners was AJ Styles and The Miz, because there's a little rift between Edge and Christian. And then match 3, you have Dolph Ziggler and Aleister Black versus Damian Priest and Austin Theory. And this is the other tag team that will get inserted against AJ Styles and The Miz. And the team was Dolph Ziggler and Aleister Black picking up the win over Damian Priest and Austin Theory. And then number 4, you have Peyton Royce versus Bianca Belair, which is in the women's title match at the pay-per-view. Reckoning is also going. She went against Alexa Bliss in match 5. So Royce beat Belair, and then Reckoning beat Alexa Bliss in match 5. And then match 6, this continues the best of 7 series, which currently Strowman was up 2-1. Lesnar versus Strowman in the main event. Strowman won again, which puts him up 3-1 against Brock Lesnar in the best of 7. So can Lesnar win the championship at the next pay-per-view? I guess we'll see. All right. So with that pretty much wraps up the
results.
Huh?
Dave didn't get his results in?
Nope. Dave did not have his results tonight in, so I don't have Dave's results. I'm sorry. Yet we'll try and get you caught up on that. Crispy Bacon, you got 30, 45 seconds to go ahead and wrap it up.
Thank you guys for watching, commenting, interacting with the show. Make sure to go to our Facebook page and click the YouTube link so you can be entered to our contest that we'll be doing, at the end of the month. So make sure to do that. Tomorrow we have a brand new lineup, a new show coming to the network, starting about 5 p.m. Central Time. It's a health and beauty show ran by Giant, so make sure to tune in for that.
All right, and then you have Big B.
Yeah, just thanks for everybody interacting. I love talking wrestling. Probably one of my top 2 favorite sports to talk about. So I always love jumping on and doing the fantasy booking and chatting wrestling. And just want to wish Jeff Hardy a speedy recovery. I heard he just is home with COVID now, so hopefully he gets back on track. And again, Chris, thanks for doing what you're doing backstage, doing the double duty, as we like to put it. And hope everybody is subscribing to YouTube, because, you got a chance to win a couple amazing gifts that we're giving away.
And then Dragon Viper.
Yeah, I just want to thank Chris as well, for everything that he does. And William, thank you and everybody else for watching. And I hope everybody has a good night.
All right, and thank you very much, William. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. This was your first experience. Go ahead and share it if you get the chance to. Let everybody know that they can watch us every Sunday night on Between the Ropes. we'll give them a breakdown of Raw, SmackDown, and when a pay-per-view happens, we give a breakdown of what happened on the pay-per-view. So you can catch that on Sunday nights too. And then, of course, we would just want to thank everybody. And for those of you who are curious, I just saw this here. Mr. James Ellsworth actually made an appearance tonight at Maryland Championship Wrestling tonight. So he made an appearance at MCW tonight.
That worm.
James Ellsworth. so with that being said, I really hope everybody. All right, no problem, William. I'll definitely do that. So thank you very much. So everybody have a fantastic night, and we will see you next Sunday for another episode of Between the Ropes.